Good afternoon everyone. This is my video on my program that I use for my lawn. In the background you can see, looking really nice. So what you see here on your left is a spreader. This is a rotary spreader. You can get things called drop spreaders. They also do the same job, they just drop the product down, whereas this one spritz it around left to right as you're walking up and down. A little bit less control with this than you would get with a drop spreader, but if you're fairly competent you can work this quite well. On the right hand side over here we've got a backpack sprayer, or a knapsack sprayer as it's called. And what that is a device where you fill it with water and you mix in products that can be sprayed. Now with the two of these types of applicators, you've got the spreader on the side for granulated fertiliser, and then you've got liquid lawn feeds on the right hand side. Both of these have to be done in a garden, in a grass application to get the best out of it. The granular will give you a reasonable period of time, especially if you go with what's called coated granular fertiliser. And what this will do is can be done as like a slow release program over a progression of many weeks, possibly 6 to 8 weeks with this product, depending on conditions, should we say. So how much rain, how much sun, etc. that you're going to get. This one here fills in the peaks and troughs that this releases. So this is like instant and this is long-term release. So you get results with these kind of products within a few days, whereas these ones, this granular takes a little bit more time to release, and it releases in phases as it's watered into the surface of the soil and ultimately into the plant, down into the root system. So when you hear about things like, you hear about NPK, which is nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus, and that's the essential ingredients to producing these kind of effects. So what a lot of people on the internet and YouTube, there's various people on the internet that will tell you NPK is all about up, down and all around. So nitrogen gives you a boost of growth, the other two give you a better root development and overall plant health. So by looking at the blends of these NPK figures, you can determine what you need to put into your lawn in order to develop it over the season. Now, if you look at, there's lots and lots of resources online about NPK and what you need to put into it, and the different values of NPK. There's spring, so early development within the start of the season, summer, autumn and winter, and with a blend of all of those, there's literally countless resources online that you can utilize in order to get that development into your grass. Now at the moment I have been using this year, and as you can see when you see the results and what you've seen on some of the videos I've posted, I'm an amateur, I'm not a professional, I'm not doing this for professional purposes. I'm doing this for the enjoyment of doing grass and enjoying that for myself. But what you can see here is products that are both granular and liquid. And what you can see here is that this granular is an 1855 NPK, and it's got a mix of additional elements that you can add to the grass, including some exotic particles which promote the growth of the sward. And then over here you've got various products that are presented here. Now the people, or the person's products I use here, he's also on YouTube, and I've been watching his videos to learn all about the process of looking after lawn and developing your lawn. And that person is Daniel Hibbert, lawn expert. He's a British lawn professional, and he has his own channel, which is Daniel Hibbert Lawn Expert. And if you look at that on YouTube, you can see as a professional some of the absolutely awesome gardens that he's developed for his customers, and the lawns and everything that he's done in that space. He's got years and years of experience of doing this, and he has produced a set of products that I've been utilising in my grass development cycle. So at the moment in the grass just now, I have applied this about 4 weeks ago, and that is now sitting in the soil layer, developing and producing a nice balanced growth of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, and that produces this beautiful colour that you see here. But I've also been topping it up every couple of weeks, every 2 weeks or so, with these liquid products. So what you see here is that there's different ones here that are on this list, and what you have is I've got 4 bottles at the front here and then 2 at the back, and you'll see his products are things like Stellar BioBoost, which is a seaweed, an amino acid, which can provide a better root development. Then you've got Grace, which is the yellow bottle, and this is vitamins, potassium, etc. That can go into the grass, and we tend to forget that as people who are, developing grass throughout the year. Grass needs, it's a living product, living organism, and it needs nutrients in order to develop. We've also got another one of these products here called Orbit, which is a formulation of beeswax, which is essentially sugars into the plant, and it gives you a nice shine across the top of the surface of the grass. It's a really nice product, and I'm applying these as I said every 2 weeks or so, 2 to 4 weeks depending on what they are. So the 4 bottles in the front I'm doing every 2 weeks or so, and then the bottles at the back I'm doing every 4 weeks, just to keep on top of things. The other one here, you've got Slow Grow. So this is basically the red bottle here, and that basically helps to slow down the growth of the grass. So when you apply all these liquid products and these fertilizers and everything like that, you'll find that your grass during the growing season will just skyrocket. It'll just keep growing, and all you'll be doing is mowing the lawn constantly. You'll just be mowing. So what this product does is, if you put this down, I literally put this down 2 weeks ago, and literally overnight it used to grow, maybe an inch overnight, especially with the rain we get in Scotland. It was growing an inch every night or so, so I was cutting it on a day-to-day basis, which actually adds a little bit of stress to the grass. So I applied this product mixed with the other ones, and when I did that, when I came out the next day, it only grown maybe, 5 or 6 mil, so it was nowhere near the growth that it had before. It slowed it right down, and since it's been on the grass, it just allows the grass to transfer the energy back down into the root system, so you get a much better and healthier root system for the grass. And it also gives you a little bit more time to cut as well, so you might get maybe a day in between your cuts rather than having to do it almost every day. So these are the 4 bottles I use on a regular basis. behind the two big bottles behind, one is a nitrogen feed that you can put on, which again is on he's got a website. If you go on to Google and just search for Daniel Hibbert Lawn Expert, you will see his website, and he's got various products on there. He's got packs for the winter, packs for the autumn, packs for spring, and then he's got a summer pack, and the summer pack is basically these 4 products here plus another one at the back on the right hand side here. The one that's just behind here you can see text on, and that one's a new product that he's brought out this year called the Summer Secret, and that's basically a mixture of items including iron, and the iron gives you an instant green up, and you can mix all these products together, and you need to, as he puts it in coins, is the term, individualize your dose. So there's instructions on here on these products to tell you how to apply it with a knapsack sprayer like one of these, or with a watering can, and there's a particular amount that you need to apply, milliliters out of these bottles mixed with water, in order to lay it down onto your grass. Now my front grass and back grass mixed and added together is about 200 square meters, so with the mixture of all those items I have to put a mixture of certain amounts of these bottles in. So roughly speaking, I think I'm putting in 400 ml of each of these bottles here, and then at the back I'm actually putting in something like, I think you can see there in this text over here, it actually says 2 litres in 10 litres of water to cover 200 square meters. So that's what I'm putting in, and I'm basically mixing that in with the water in the backpack sprayer. But it's really, really important when you're doing that you put some water in the backpack sprayer first, then you put these products in and you mix them up, and you pour them in, and then you top up with water. What you don't want to do is put these products into your backpack sprayer first and then top it up with water, because what you end up with is the products coming out neat, and when you're spraying it neat onto the grass, that can cause problems, especially if you're using iron in the grass. I had a bit of a boob, should we say, over here when I sprayed it on for the first time using the Summer Secret. It actually scalded the grass, or burnt the tips of the grass, but that was my fault, not the product's fault. That was just because I was being stupid. So you can see now it's looking fantastic. There's no sign of that scalding. That was just because I was making a mistake. So follow the instructions, have a look at these products. He's got a YouTube page, go and watch his videos. I've learned a lot as an sort of amateur, novice, in my case accidental gardener. Why did I choose accidental? I chose accidental because I fell into doing gardening as kind of an output of something else that happened earlier this year, so I can talk about that in another video. But I call myself the accidental gardener because I accidentally fell into doing gardening, and I've become really quite passionate about it. So have a look at his YouTube page. Again, I'll link it in the video description so that you can see his page and find out a little bit more about him. There's also a product here, another couple of products here that are not shown because I'm further on in my process, my plan. But he has another product called Sow Pro, which is a seed developing liquid that you can spray down, and that promotes a healthy growth cycle with seed at the early part of its growth window. And the other one is a wetting agent. Now, I don't know if I necessarily need a wetting agent in Scotland, because obviously, you know, we get lots and lots of rainfall, and you know, with everything that was going on when I was doing the renovation here, we were getting stuff into the roots. But his plan and his process always calls for the wetting agent. So, you know, dive feet first into the process and work my way through with that. So I followed his process, and this is the results that you get. You can see it for yourself, the green that I've got here. So this is what I'm using, and it's an appropriate blend of tools that you can use, starting with your granular. Yeah, it's a really important thing to use. Granular gives you that slow release over a progression of weeks, potentially a couple of months before you need to apply it again. And then secondly, making sure you're using these liquid products on a regular basis, sprayed down onto the top of your lawn. And there's loads and loads of videos about how to set up and calibrate your sprayer, making sure that you understand your walking pace. You need to make sure that you've got a proper walking pace when you're walking up and down, so that you're not putting on huge amounts of products onto your grass. If you end up doing that, you end up putting on too much, and especially when it's got iron in it, you end up burning the lawn. So you need to make sure that you've got a really good process up and down. And what I would suggest is, if you're going to buy one of these knapsack sprayers and use it, you use it with water first, and you just sort of get your pace, and you use the stripes that you generate in your garden to actually go up and down and follow those stripes with your sprayer, and you hold your sprayer at the right level and you apply the right amount of pressure. Now, this is a manual backpack sprayer, so prepare for the Popeye arms, because you end up with very chunky arms using one of these. It's hard work, especially if your garden's big. I use this knapsack sprayer for both the lawn and also applying feed on for my plants as well. So there's various other ones in the marketplace, cheaper ones, more expensive ones. You can even get battery backpack sprayers. I had a look at one which is a typhoon, it's called. You can buy that on gardenimports.co.uk. That's a really good one. There's lots and lots of videos online about that, and you just put it on your back, plug a battery in, and up and down you go, with no worry about generating a huge muscle bicep by using this device here. And then you've got various versions of these that are available online. Again, this was about £70 for this. This knapsack sprayer was about 120 for that one. And you can go crazy. You can spend quite a lot of money for this. I think the typhoon one that I looked at, I think it was about £280, something like that. And they have accessories that, if you have DeWalt or Milwaukee, if you're into that kind of stuff, DIY, you can get an adapter that actually allows you to use those batteries in your knapsack sprayer, which is really quite good of them. And then there's various versions of this as well, from drop spreaders of £50, and you can go all the way up to, you know, £1,000 for some of these ones with sort of battery powered versions that, you know, sprinkle it down, and they've got edge guards to stop you from spraying things over into your borders or onto stone chips, etc. So again, really useful plan to come up with. Now, as I said, I've picked Daniel's products, and he's been an inspiration for me, and I think for many other people on YouTube. There's also lawncare. You've got Sean there as well. He's got a YouTube channel. He talks about emerald green, which is a wetting agent mixed with seaweed. Seaweed seems to be like the go-to product that a lot of people put down, the professionals, etc., to get, you know, the boost into your root system. Go and check out Sean's videos on YouTube as well. He also has a website, and he's very passionate about lawn care, etc. I've learned from various sources, Daniel Hibbert, Sean at Lawn Right, I've watched Ryan Knorr in the United States. There's a whole bunch of people on YouTube that you can have a look at, and you can pick your own products. You don't need to go for these. These are UK, so I'm using these in UK, but there's products in the United States that you can use around the world, but they all follow the same path. They all follow the NPK, the magnesium, the potassium, the amino acids, the seaweeds, the vitamins, all that kind of stuff, the growth regulators to slow down your grass. It's all there, and there's loads and loads and loads of videos online that you can use to educate yourself about lawn care. So I'm going to get on doing this now. I've only set this up so that you could see what it is I'm using. I'm not going to be using this today. As I said, I've got enough of it down on the grass, and it's still acting. I can still see it in the soil, sitting on some of the soil layer. And then this stuff here, I'm going to be applying into the backpack sprayer, and I'm going to start spraying today. Now, I might merge this with another video. I'm learning to do all this new stuff with YouTube and applying all of this so that you can see for yourself. Not quite ready to introduce myself in front of the camera yet. I haven't shaved today or anything like that, so and I'm wearing shorts and everything, so when I do get ready for you, I'll try and make myself look a bit more presentable so that we can have a chat and you get to know who I am. But hopefully you like this video. I'm going to get started with filling things up and getting out on the garden. Now, just before I go, when you apply some of these products onto your grass, you need to leave them for an hour or two, and then you need to water them in. Now, if you pick the right day to do it, then you could wait for Mother Nature to give you this, their natural rain supply, and water this in for you. But I'm sitting here on Sunday in late July 2024, and it's not due to rain until I think Thursday next week, so I'm going to have to water this in myself. So I'll be using some of my gardena hoses that I've got dotted around. So I've got this one here, there's another one just sort of through the back, and then I've got a hose reel round here that I'll be spraying on water onto the grass just to water this in after this has been sitting on the leaf for a little while, absorbing into the leaf and absorbing into the root system. I'll also do the front grass as well, and just round the corner, sort of round here, I've got another hose that's a 25-metre hose that covers the front garden, and all I do is I just pull the hose that's round here along the front edge here and round and down, sort of down this part round the corner, and plug it in, and that provides me with enough water flow that I can actually water the front garden as well. So I'll maybe give you a little bit of a view of that once I get out and do everything. But you can see my water feature here bubbling away. It's a very nice sound of water, and this kind of strange contraption here is the pole for, you know, an umbrella, but it's covered to stop water from coming through it and sitting during the winter time. So I really should get that out and start enjoying it. But hopefully you found that useful. As I said, I'll leave links for Daniel's page and his shop, and also Lawn Care, Sean, both fantastic guys, both in the UK, both very knowledgeable about their craft, and again, both professionals, so they run their own businesses for, you know, doing customers' lawns. This is my view of the world. This is just me in my back garden doing my thing. But as I said, there's loads and loads of resources online to teach you about fertiliser, what to do, how to do it safely. Make sure you follow the instructions. It's really important to be wearing, you know, gloves, eye defenders, making sure you're wearing trousers and things like that to apply your products, and try not get it on yourself. Some of these things can be quite nasty, so just make sure that you know, you follow the instructions, and you'll get a really good result. So as I said, that's me going to sign off for just now, but I'm going to get started with my backpack sprayer, start filling it up. But make sure you follow the instructions with these. Make sure that you're using measuring jugs, and you apply the correct dosage of these for your lawn. And I know, just out of practice that my lawn is 200 square meters, so I have nice, easy calculations that I need to use to get the benefit of that. So catch you later, guys. See you in the next one. Cheerio.